I'm Dr. Dhananjay Bansal, working as cardiothoracic and vascular surgeon in Ashoka Medicover Hospital, Nashik, Maharashtra. Today we are going to discuss about varicose veins, which is by far one of the most common venous disease we see in our day-to-day practice. So the varicose veins basically are superficial dilated bluish purple discolored veins that appear commonly on the legs. And the population most commonly affected with this disease is they are the ones who are having sedentary lifestyle, or their profession involves long-term standing, or the people who have a long-term sitting work with their legs down. Obesity is one of the most common factors associated, and other than that, the family history. And also it is 4 times more common in women of around 40 years of age. Now the symptoms associated with these varicose veins, they are different kind of symptoms. Some of the patients complain of pain or discomfort or itching sensation or soreness, and also cramps during daytime or maybe during the night time. Some people will just have swelling or edema in their legs, commonly involving their ankle or the foot. And obviously cosmetic issues are always there with these kind of varicose veins, and especially when there are small reticular veins or the spider veins which are associated with those dilated veins. Different sorts of treatment options available for these varicose veins. Now before we understand those treatment options, we should understand the process involved behind this varicose veins. Now there are two venous systems in our legs, that is the deep system and the superficial venous system, and also these two systems are connected by perforators. Now the blood naturally flows in one direction from deep system to the superficial system, and from superficial system to the heart. Now in some cases, when these perforators or the valves within the superficial system, they are damaged mechanically, so the blood pools down into those superficial venous system, causing the blood pressure in those venous system to rise. And as the blood keeps on pulling down, the venous system, the venous pressure rises, and the superficial veins gets dilated. When they get dilated over the period of time, the walls of those veins, they might get damaged, and that is when the blood starts seeping out through those veins under the skin. And as the disease progresses, that pigment in the blood gives the skin a discolored changes. Now as the disease progresses, the blood starts seeping out of the veins into the skin. That is when causes the brownish discoloration of the skin, and this stage is called as lipodermatosclerosis. And later on, as this disease keeps on progressing, they might develop ulcers, and these ulcers are most commonly found near the ankle, that is called as gaiter area. So now let's just discuss about the treatment options available for this varicose veins. In early 2000s or maybe in late 90s, we used to do surgical treatments that used to involve some incisions over the leg to ligate those perforators or to strip, to remove that superficial vein. Now in the latest development in this varicose vein treatment are needle hole intervention, that may be called as minimal invasive interventions. Now the options available with these interventions are laser surgery, or we call it EVLT, endovenous laser treatment for varicose veins. Second is radio frequency ablation, also called as RFA. Third, the latest development is VenaSeal varicose vein closure, and the most commonly used for superficial spider veins is sclerotherapy. So let's just discuss about them one by one. Surgical interventions used to have those multiple incisions where we used to strip off the varicose veins, the superficial dilated veins, and also ligate the perforators. Second comes the needle hole interventions. They are the day care procedure. Obviously when it is a needle hole, there is no incision, and when there is no incision, there is no scar. And as it's a day care procedure, we ask the patient to return to their activities even just after 2 hours of their procedure. So it's so the patient doesn't need to get any day off from their work. What we do here is we enter the varicose vein, we enter the dilated superficial vein near the ankle through by a needle, and we put the catheter into it. We introduce the catheter up till your groin region, and by the laser energy, that is the thermal energy, we burn the vein right from your groin area up till your ankle area, and that thermal energy causes your superficial varicose veins, those dilated veins, to close down. Same thing happens in radio frequency ablation, but yes, the results have been found more much better in case of laser treatment, that is EVLT. Now another latest advancement in this varicose vein procedure treatment is VenaSeal varicose vein closure. What we do in here is, again we introduce a needle, we introduce the catheter, but here instead of the thermal energy we introduce a specialized glue or specialized material into your superficial veins, and we keep on compressing it right from your groin up till your anchor area so that the veins closes down. The amount of recurrence or the chances of recurrence is around 1 to 2% in those laser procedures, and even lesser in case of VenaSeal varicose vein closure. Now the benefit we have seen of these needle hole interventions over those surgical treatment now, but all the benefits comes with some risk as well, or all the benefits come at some cost as well. Now the cost can be the risk associated with these needle hole interventions are, because of thermal energy, patient might feel some pain in the area of their legs being treated. Secondly, multiple needle holes they can be there, so the patient might feel some discomfort, and because of thermal energy they can also develop some redness or bruising in the leg, but that's a matter of few days only. The ultimately patient gets fine, and we ask the patient to wear some compression stockings. They are medically graded stockings. They are these kind of stockings. They go right from their groin area up till their toe area. So we ask the patient to wear these kind of stockings for around 2 to 4 weeks after their procedure is done, and later on they can stop wearing these kind of stockings as well, and they can resume to their day-to-day activities as soon as possible. From our side, we ask them to resume their duties same day. There is no need of home rest or any kind of rest. For any queries, you can give us a call. Our number and email ID has been displayed on the screen, so we are open to all kind of queries for you to answer. Thank you so much.